Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News of the Inner Sphere. I'm Notice, your UrbanMech anchorman. It is the year 3005. We kick things off this year in the Lyrian Commonwealth on the planet of Summer, where the Dragoons Combine has landed and started shooting up the place. A representative of the DCMS says that House Curita is tired of the Steiners using the place as a staging points for raids into their territory. The LCAF 3rd Royal Guards is on the scene to kindly tell them to fuck off with superior firepower. During the fighting, the Lestrade residence was attacked and the Duke himself was killed, dying in his wounded son's arms. The soon-to-be-installed Duke Aldo Lestrade IV has berated the infantry of the 3rd Royal Guards in not protecting the palace properly and allowing the Combine forces to attack them. He blames their laxness for the reason that he had gotten hurt and his father being killed. When questioned further, the new Duke says, "What bloody knife? I have no idea what you mean. No, I am not hiding it behind my back." Yeah, the new Duke took over in the really old-fashioned way by assassinating his own father under the cover of an attack. Well, at least he did it himself, unlike, a certain Bushido-loving bastard hiring one of his own troops to do it for him. Go ahead, prove me wrong, and tell me Takashi did not have Hohiro killed. Once the Curitans have been driven off of Summer, Aldo Lestrade IV is properly installed as the Duke of Summer. He immediately goes on an anti-Commonwealth tirade that he won't shut up about until 3029. He'll start cultivating favor among the nobles who hate the Lyrian Commonwealth as it is and wants to see the current Archon off the throne. The list of nobles will include future telecom guy Frederick Steiner. And now on to the Capellan Confederation. The Seti Hussars from the Federated Suns attack the planet of Indicus. Cochrane's Goliath, a subunit within the St. Ives Armored Cavalry, is on the scene to defend the planet. The Goliaths are unique within the Capellan Confederation Armed Forces as being the only unit to field their namesake assault BattleTech. That would be this thing here that makes me wonder if the designers watched too much Star Wars as a kid. But before you laugh at this thing, I would like to remind you that the Goliath is a walking weapons platform with a Rand PPC and 2 Holley LRM-10 launchers to say fuck you at long range while you try to cross the battlefield to get them. It also comes with 2 machine guns because infantry needs to be reminded why trying to use anti-mech tactics against them is a bad idea. Cochrane's Goliath would down 2 whole companies of the Seti Hussars comprised mainly of Wolverines and Ostroks, causing the Hussars to retreat in good order. This defensive action would be the only one of 2 conflicts that the Goliaths would see during the whole Third Succession War. The reason being is that the Goliath BattleMech was extremely fucking rare during this time period, and Chancellor Maximilian Liao, in a rare moment of insight, didn't want to commit them unless absolutely necessary. These Goliaths had been found back in 2990 in a Starlink cache and were, at the time, some of the very few that existed. Chancellor Liao didn't want to lose a bunch of rare and valuable mechs, and I can't say that I blame him on this one. Over on the planet of Kittery, in what has to be the least amount of material committed to take a planet, 4 mechs of the Federated Suns attacks the planet that's only defended by a lone Goliath from the 2nd St. Ives Armored Cavalry and the Planetary Militia. Yes, you heard that right. The Davians attacked with just 4 battle mechs, a pair of Wasps, and a pair of Stingers. The Liaos only had their Goliath and a bunch of guys with guns as part of the Chancellor's so-called elastic defense strategy. We now go to breaking news from within the Lyrian Commonwealth. Mysterious assassins attacked the noble couple of Arthur Levon and Katrina Steiner on the planet of Pulsaba. According to eyewitnesses, the attack failed, although both Arthur and Katrina have disappeared from the public eye. Even though no one asked, Archon Alessandro Steiner has denied involvement. Oh, who am I kidding? Everyone was asking, as Katrina was seen as Alessandro's successor, and many felt that he was trying to remove a political rival. Spoiler alert, he was. Additionally, Loki agents conclude their training exercises on Pulsabo. On top of that, members of the Lyrian secret society known as Heimdall have told the Archon, fuck you. In completely unrelated news, a new pirate by the name of the Red Corsair has appeared in Lyrian space. This mysterious renegade, who totally does not look like Lieutenant General Katrina Steiner and her lover Arthur Levon has conducted a series of raids on Larian worlds. Coincidentally, these are worlds that have Loki stations and Starleague Lost Tech caches on them. I don't know, maybe they went a little over the top with their disguises. At any rate, the Red Corsair will wind up finding a cache of Lost Tech items, including the infamous black box fax machines. She'll continue her raiding, aka running from Loki, out in the periphery for a year before heading back into Larian space. Her path will loop her around the former RimWorld's Republic planets, eventually coming back via the border with the Free Worlds League. The entire time, she's plotting the demise of the man who ordered Loki to have her killed. Excitement on the periphery planet Adelos 4 within the Federated Suns. A massive jump ship armada has appeared, making the citizens of Delos shit their pants and thinking that they're being invaded. Shortly thereafter, a man by the name of Jamie Wolf contacted the local government, informing them of their intention to enter employment as a mercenary unit for House Davian. To have a mercenary unit show up out of nowhere is not unheard of. Having a unit show up out of nowhere with such a massive force is unheard of. First Prince Ian Davian is, understandably, skeptical of this Wolf and his Dragoons. Duke William Schuyler Davian is dispatched to the planet to enter into negotiations with the strange new unit and to expect them to see if they're legit. Upon arrival at the planet, which was totally not occupied by the countless dropships and mechs under Wolf's command, William was greeted with full ceremony and honors as if he were arriving at a state dinner. Likewise, he was astonished to see the hundreds of battle mechs and aerospace fighters that dated all the way back to the Starleague, many of which had been declared to be Lost Tech, and even more that hadn't even been registered. During the contract negotiations, the mercenary leader, Jamie Wolf, sounded genuinely baffled at the size of his unit, saying, "What do you mean everyone doesn't have 5 regiments of pristine battle mechs, mobile repair facilities, and an entire space flotilla? What the hell have you all been doing since we left?" When asked about the origin of their equipment, Wolf simply smiled and politely declined to answer. The Dragoons' arrival raises many questions, including whether or not they're descendants of the SLDF Exodus fleet. Upon interviewing one of their officers about their unique name, Natasha Kerensky just scoffed and said that she was adopted before threatening our field agent with bodily harm if he didn't stop asking her questions. Upon Duke William's report back to the First Prince, the mysterious Wolf's Dragoons were then given a lease on the planet of New Valencia to establish a base there. They chose a peculiar place in the mountains and hills north of the planetary capital of Raitland. A Dragoon spokesman has said, no, there is totally not an old Starleague base there, even though no one asked. On Hilton Head Island on Terra, Comstar collectively goes, what the fuck, and where the hell did these guys come from? Moving on to the sports report, despite winning the title of Grand Champion of Solaris for the 4th year in a row, Terry Bates announces her retirement from the arena circuit. In her championship bouts, she suffered an injury that apparently was worse than she initially thought. While able to finish the bout and win, she says that she will not be able to recover in time to start the next season. Mechwarriors on Solaris breathe a sigh of relief that they won't have to face a fucking Atlas in the next year's finals. And that's the way it is in the Inner Sphere. Join us next time as we see how Operation Concentrated Weakness pans out, how the Wolf's Dragoons perform for their first time, and go into a little bit of this crazy guy named Cranston Snord. Thank you, and good night. I'd like to give a quick shout out to our guest artist for today. Without his work, we wouldn't have our lovely pirate couple here. If you like what you see, please hit him up on social media. I'm sure that he would love the work.